Oh, hey Miley, how are you? Oh, I'm not up to anything of much. I was just coming out here to work on something. No, if you think that I was coming out here to admire this chainsaw or to oogle and ogle over this thing all night, you're wrong about that. No, I was coming out to do something. Okay. Okay, you have a great point right there. I've definitely been making videos and talking about things like checking for spark, and I've just kind of taken it for granted that people understand what that means. And I guess they probably don't. Not everybody does understand what that means. You have a great idea, Miley. Yeah, I think we can go ahead and make a quick video on that and explain to people how to check for spark. Here we go. All right, guys, per Miley's request, here we are on the bench. We're going to do a video on how to check for spark. We're going to do this basically two different ways. One's going to be a little bit of a trick. And we're just going to go ahead and start with the classic. If you don't want to, I don't know, shock yourself or something like that. So here we got a chainsaw. I've already removed the top cover from this. You're going to have to get the top cover off, but you're going to go ahead and undo the spark plug boot and take your spark plug out in this case. So what we have got here is a tester. This is a Lyle tester. I'll go ahead and put a link in the description to this one. I bought this one specifically because it had a 90-degree boot and a long straight boot on it. Most of the other ones did not have that, and I think it's going to be useful in the future. So we're just going to take one end of this tester and plug it into our boot. One end is going to go into our spark plug tester. We're going to make sure those are secure. And then we're going to put one end, well, we don't really have to do this, but what you would do here is if you were able to pull on this, and I'll just tell you right now that I'm not going to be able to pull on this with the spark plug in here and keep it in front of this camera. I've already tried to do it once tonight. I can't do it. So let's just pretend this is still in there. Okay, so we're pretending it's still in there. So what we're going to do now that the spark plug is out of here, the compression is far less in here. So I'm going to be able to keep this in place and pull on this. And what's going to happen here is we're going to pull on this. We're going to be looking for a light right here. And I'm going to go ahead and dim the lights in here. All right, the lights are dimmed. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit on this guy right here. And I'm going to make a few pulls. We should be able to see. And there it is. There's your light right there. And now that would be doing the same thing if you had this in here and in here. So if you do this and your plug is in here, just keep in mind that you've got a spark going to this plug now. So don't put it in the choke position, and preferably run it without gas in it so you don't start your motor up. In your worst case scenario, you're using a chainsaw or something like that. This one does not have a bar on it right now, but if you've got a bar and chain, if you've got a lawnmower, if you're going to do something like that, take every safety precaution. Put this lock on. Do whatever you have to do. So if it did start up, kill it. Kill the motor. Obviously, people put these things on and they test engines with them when they're running each cylinder and all those sort of things too. So now we're just going to go ahead and take this off of here. Nice and straightforward. Real simple. And this thing works great. No questions right there. Nice and easy. And that's going to be pretty nice. Gotta say, this is going to be pretty nice in a case where you're maybe on a lawnmower or something like that. and you can hook it up on the bottom of that lawnmower, and you got this guy kind of up on top where you can't see the lawnmower. I did one the other day and I had to use my camera to film the spark on the lawnmower, and the second process I'm going to show you guys. So the second process to check for spark, if you don't have a tester and you do not want to get a tester, we're going to take this back out again. I should have just left it out. We're going to put this spark plug into the boot, make sure it's nice and secure, and we're going to, see, I don't really like this method a whole lot, but we're going to put this down on here, and here's the deal. We're going to be doing the same thing where you pull right here. You don't want to touch this with your hand. If you touch this with your hand while you're pulling here, you will get shocked. It's as simple as that. Ask me how I know. So we can just try to lay this on here in some fashion where it's, you know, here's the thing too, is this isn't the safest method in the world either, because presuming you have some gas down here or something like that, you could have something, you know, you could have some gas do something here, but this thing's not even wanting a seat on here and lay down in a spot where I can really make a good, there we go, maybe right there. Let's see if we can see that right there. Yeah, I don't really want to hold this thing on here with my hand because it's not the safest, but this isn't working so well. So here's another little trick. If this is acting like a little jerk like this, I got some good automotive painter's tape right here. I love this stuff. It's 3M. I use it for everything. So let's go ahead and, okay, now hopefully you can see this. I see it. And just in case you couldn't see it, now is when I'm really in danger of shocking myself. There it is. Your spark plug is going to go, of course, at this point you should be pretty familiar with this, but your spark plug is going to go back in. You're going to tighten down your spark plug. You're going to put your boot back on. I like to put a little bit of dielectric grease on these before I put the boot back on. That'll help it come off later, help stop corrosion and rust and all that kind of crap. Boot's back on. I mean, you don't have to see it, but the cover goes back on. You know, you guys have already figured that out, I'm sure. So that one's done. Now, here's one more method, and I haven't tested this one for spark, but here's going to be one more method to test for spark, presuming that you don't have a spark plug tester. And this one, in order to ground your spark plug out on this body right here, you have to remove all this stuff. So I'm going to show you a little trick around that. So we're just going to take this plug out, basically the same method as before in the beginning here. And of course, we would like this to be grounded in here, but if you did that, you'd never be able to see the spark or anything like that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pop this in here, make sure it's nice and secure. We're just going to take a wrench, see what works good here. Yeah, not that one. Maybe a screwdriver, whatever you can get in there to kind of jam it in there. So we're going to kind of jam that in there a little bit, and then this is going to ground to that wrench, to that screwdriver. Dim the lights again. Same thing applies here. Make sure you don't have a bunch of fuel all over the place or anything like that. Yeah. Aha. All right. I thought I screwed up there. Yeah. If you're doing this on an Echo, this is an Echo, make sure you got the switch in the on position here. That's a good tip right there. Got me. Not the first time, won't be the last time. If your chainsaw, if your weed eater, if your lawnmower, whatever it is in the off position, or if, in the case of your lawnmower, if you are not holding the kill bar, the bar that you have to hold to start the lawnmower, if you're not holding that bar, you're not creating that electrical circuit. So like what these on and off switches do right here is create a circuit. Got an automatic light over there. So it's off again. So now here we go. Let's try this one more time. There we go. And it fell right out. The screwdriver fell right out of there. But there we go. Nice and clear. There's the spark, and that's how you do that one. You can use whatever you want for it. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing with this one. Automatic light goes back on. And we're going to put this spark plug back in. Nice and easy. We didn't have to remove this whole cover. No screwing around with all that. Got nice spark here too. And guys, that's about it as far as I know about checking for spark. When you hear people say you got to have spark, got to have compression, got to have fuel, it's true. You have to have all three of those things going at the same time to make an engine work. So yeah, this is one of the easiest things you can check in the beginning. Just make sure you got spark, fuel, and compression. And if you've got spark and compression, your engine is still not running, it's probably something to do with your fuel. If you've got spark and fuel and your engine is not running, it's probably something to do with your engine. If you don't have spark, yeah, it's going to be a great place to start. Hey, I hope you guys liked this video. I hope you found it useful. I hope this saves you some time, saves you some money, all of the above. If you like this, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Miley, thanks for the great tip on doing a video right here. I hope this is a good one for everybody. Have a great day.